I don't know. Maybe we're just too good. Maybe it's just going to be too easy.
And there. Do you see what you did wrong?
Yep.
Say it. Say what you did wrong.
I was overconfident.
You were overconfident. You of all people should know better.
Well, I don't want to sound rude, but it's just that...
It's just what?
I mean, come on, you're the Leafs.
Excuse me?
I was overconfident. But it was against you. The Leafs.
Yeah, but I won.
Yeah, no, you did, but you're the Leafs.
You can't just keep saying what I am and expect me to have like a breakdown.
The Leafs.
Stop!
The Leafs.
Stop it!
The Leafs.
Stop! I know that.
The Leafs.
You don't get to do this to me right now!
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. Not right. And boy, howdy, did I set us up for that one. That's on me, boys. That's on me. Oof. The last video opener really set us up for failure. I knew it when I made it. I really did. But what is our motto here, guys? What is our motto on this channel? Unrelenting optimism. We are 10-2. I'm not worried yet. The Leafs played a great game. And I think this is a really awesome, we're obviously going to get into it, awesome learning opportunity for this team in the first week of November. November. Not April. November. I still feel great about where this team is right now. We're going to break down the game. I have a Mitchell Miller update that we will get to at the end. I'm sure a lot of you are very kind of bogged down by that discussion at this point. So for those of you who want to hear it, it'll be at the end. And we'll go from there. But this game, a 2-1 final, kind of a doozy. It was a weird game. It was a frustrating game. It was the last game at the end of a road trip for the boys, a 4-game road trip. Didn't have our legs under us to start the game. It just didn't go our way. But it's going to be a fantastic learning opportunity because of the way the Leafs really stifled us in general, in basically all 3 zones. I thought they played a really, really good game and protected the fact that their goaltending just hasn't had it. Although Samsonov, however he's saying it right now, because he switched from one to the other once he went up to Toronto, he's been pretty good this year. A .920 save percentage, 5-2. I think he still gets the win for last night. Trying to think of when that goal was scored. But 5-2 coming into the game. All the jokes about the Leafs' slow start this year, and their biggest issue is actually scoring, which they didn't resolve in this game by any means, but they did continue to be really good at keeping the puck out of their zone and out of their net. It's kind of funny because the team doesn't look bad, and I haven't watched a lot of Leafs games this year, but I know that that was one of their better games. Had to be. Had to be. Especially because they didn't break down late in the games as they've been doing against lesser competition. Ullmark is going to get to start. He is no longer red hot, but he is still playing some very good hockey. Krejci is back. Feels like a game too early. He was a step behind in this game. Zacha is going to go down on Coyle's right. I like that fit a lot. Greer is going to go to the 4th, and Lauko is pushed out. That, they might have regret that. They might want to switch those names in hindsight. But hey, hindsight's 2020. Lindholm, Clifton is your top pair. Grizz, Carlo, then Zabor, Riley. Biggest area we are trying to shore up right now is that third pair, like what actually works down there, because we've been able to throw Clifton in any pair and be pretty happy. Grizz and Carlo have been playing really well. I thought this was one of Carlo's best games. He looked fantastic for a lot of it. And then Zabor O'Reilly, it's really Zabor and Strawman. Neither one has grabbed onto a real spot in the lineup. I guess Riley hasn't either, but I've liked what I've seen from Riley a lot more than I've seen from Zabor or Strawman so far, personally. Swayman goes on the IR. They basically swapped that with Krejci. He is week to week, which is a bummer, but we had already known that. Puck drops! And 2 minutes in, it feels like Ullmark is going to have to be sharp because just off a basic line change, remember this is the first period, so we don't even have the distant line change right now. Marner basically sneaks in on the left side coming in. Ullmark, a breakaway in a sense because he had all the time to shoot, but he probably couldn't have gotten all the way in as the defense was coming in at a nice angle. But Ullmark makes a huge stop, very early in the game. Ullmark did have to be sharp for this one. There was a lot of chances in on him. Not a ton of high danger, not like an exorbitant amount of high danger, but a lot of pucks to the net in general. 12:41 left. The Leafs have been the way better team so far, just by far. Matthews and Bunting behind the net. They're battling. It's mostly Bunting battling, and he's battling against Carlo. Greer, who you would think kind of comes down to take Matthews, because Matthews is right next to the net. But Greer is staying distant. He's got to be 5 or 6 feet farther into the slot. Matthews is able to knife in, get the puck out of the scrum. Bunting and Carlo cross each other off with that. And Ullmark, as he's looking over his shoulder to make sure they're not going one way or the other, it's actually short side that Matthews takes it, swoops it, and just gets it over the shoulder. It's a filthy goal. Beautiful, gorgeous, surprising. It's one of those goals that's so cool, but you all just stopped and went, wait, what just happened? So I was impressed by that. I hate it. I hate Matthews so much. It's 1-0, and they deserve that lead so hard. And Greer, with just a lapse of mental judgment, just stood there and watched it. That would not be the first time he cost us a goal, or almost cost us a goal, I should say. Period's going to end 1-0. That period was an ass-kicking. We got shellacked. The first 10 minutes, I think we took 2 shots, and neither one of them was any sort of scoring chance. I can't think of another time in the season where we had 10 minutes of, and I don't mean shots, I don't, because I just mean a scoring opportunity. And for the first 10 minutes of that game, we did not have a scoring opportunity. Not every scoring opportunity leads to a shot. You miss the net, or you whiff on the shot, like whatever, but we didn't even have that much. We couldn't get anything going. Second period starts. 5 minutes in, Leafs still look like the better team. And Tavares slashes Zaboral will go into the power play. Thank God. We get to breathe a little bit. Maybe we can do something to the power play. And we actually do. Not because our power play plays well, but because Marchand jumps behind the defense on a transition and gets tripped up from behind. He's going to get the penalty shot. This was fucking immaculate. He comes down at a moderate speed. Gets the high slot, maybe right between the dots, and sells the shot, right? Samsonov, who came out far, freezes. Wait, like he really bought into that shot. And then Marchand does a little shoulder shimmy. Oh, going left? Nope. Samsonov gets flat-footed. He goes right and just backhands it past a falling Samsonov. I keep saying Samsonov just because it's so stuck in my head from my... Anyway, it's fine. Just falls back. There's no chance for him. He's breaking ankles out here. It literally looked like was a basketball breaking ankles moment. Beautiful, immaculate, 1-1, and we still have $1.40 left in the power play, which is terrible! Holy shit! The power play was so bad in this game. Horrendous! I don't even know if we get another shot through the rest of that power play. It was, oh boy, so bad. So bad. 10:53 left. Marchand, not on the bench. We're unsure why. I completely panic. I'm freaking out. He was fine. I guess it was an equipment issue. He came back. 6:20 left. DeBrusque is going to go for holding. Penalty kill time. Our penalty kill has been so good. Eventually you're going to let one in. But it's the way you let one in. Nylander screams down the right side. They're getting back into our zone. And he's going to loop all the way around. And this is just a speed. No one can catch up to him, so no one can pin him to the boards. If you're in that situation, hold the box. Make sure there's no easy passes into the slot. Well, he screams around the net. Comes around to the left side or the right side of Ullmark. You know how you're looking that way. And just chucks it into the slot where Matthews is standing alone and taps it in. Lindholm never picked up Matthews. I think it was Carlo who never took away the passing lane from Nylander to Matthews. I mean, this was just, damn. I think Nosek was above Matthews a little bit. Like, both Nosek and Lindholm had a chance to, like, all right, let's close off the actual scoring option here. Nope, everyone just left him completely alone. That guy scored 60 goals last year, and you just left him completely alone on the man advantage right in front of Ullmark while another player of theirs had the puck. What the fuck was that? That was disappointing. That's a massive mental lapse. I just don't get how that even happens. Brutal. 2-1. 5 seconds left in the period. Clifton annihilates Bunting during a scramble in front of Ullmark, and we are going to go for, I think they call him for roughing. Might have been interference. I'm not even sure. We're going into the third. You felt like we were winning this game, right? Down by 1, going into the third with the way this team's been playing. We've been stifled for 2 periods, but we're going to open it up eventually. And we did a little bit in the third. Not enough. Shalgren is in net. This is more reason to believe you're going to win. Shalgren is in net because Samsonov, I guess, has I want to say a knee injury or a hip injury, something like that. People are speculating it was because of the penalty shot, Deke. I have no idea what it actually was, so I don't really want to speculate. 155 on the penalty kill. We kill it pretty well, I'd say. 8 seconds after that kill, Zacha is behind Shalgren's net, and I think it's Sandin is skating away from him, and Zacha just gets him in the skate, trips him. Sandin goes down easy. I don't fucking care. I'm not saying this is a soft call because he blatantly hit him in the skate with the stick, and the player fell over. That's tripping. That's a needless, stupid penalty when you have no chance of getting the puck. You're in their defensive zone. Like, even if you had knocked that puck away from him, there's 2 other Leaf players there to grab it. Just ridiculously dumb penalty to take. And we kill it again because our penalty kill is good. And then Zacha is just, I like Zacha. But there's one thing that rings true about Zacha that the Devils fans have told me. Have fun with him almost scoring all the time. And boy howdy, they were right. After that kill, Bergeron comes down, hits the post, and Zacha is in front of Shalgren with the wide open net and the puck coming right to him. And the defender eliminates him. I don't even remember who the defender is. I know. I did a terrible job with this game. Yes, that's what the defense is supposed to do. Maybe just good play by them, but damn, man. It just needed to stick on it. We move on. Just a huge chance. It's just brutal. Later in the period, Tavares is going to go for interference. It's our opportunity. Power play. Do something. It's terrible. No entries that actually worked. No shots on net. Just a terrible power play with the game on the line. And luckily, they're going to give us another one. DeBrusque gets boarded by Sandin. And again, it's fucking terrible. And to highlight this, 50 seconds into the power play, Pasta gets spun around. Clear hooking. Gets spun around, loses the puck. Stops playing. There's an excuse. He thinks it's going to be 5-on-3. He doesn't want to take more time off the clock because he wants that 5-on-3 time. No call made, and they clear the puck. Should it have been a penalty? Sure. Plain as day. Sure. You got to be aware, though. Go back after that puck. Keep playing. Look over to the ref to see if they have the arm up once you get the puck, and pass it to a Leafs player if that arm is up. Because that just lost us possession on a power play, where we are actually in the zone, which has been hard for us to do. That's a tough look. A very tough look. Keep playing, man. You got to keep playing. And the power play continued to be terrible. When we pulled Olmark, end of the game, final minute, we had 3 separate cross-crease passes that went through the skates of the receiving player. Just couldn't get it on a stick. This game was meant to be lost, guys. We just didn't have it. And there were pockets where we had it and just couldn't get one to go. We missed the net several times. Frederick had 2 prime opportunities from the slot in this game and just fucking missed by a mile. That's not biased. That's literally what happened. It was a tough game, but it was fascinating. It was fascinating for one of my favorite game notes is all game long there were no passing lanes. Interrupted left and right trying to hit each other in the tape. And I thought the Leafs did a wonderful job doing that. Just taking away any space and time, but more importantly, taking away the pass. This is going to be a great coaching moment for Monty because they are going to dissect the fuck out of this tape and start looking at, okay, why did we not open up lanes? Where was the space that we weren't seeing? This game will make this team better if Jim can do his job, which I'm very confident he can. This is the type of game where you think back to it when you're getting just really hemmed in by another team. You think back to this game and go, okay, there's no passing lanes, but they exist somewhere. Are we being baited into bad passes? Or are we just not opening up the space because the system doesn't see a patch of ice? This is the type of game you think back to and go, oh shit, this is what we needed to do. They're professional athletes. They've seen thousands of games, tens of thousands. That's a lot of games, but you know what I mean. So you'd think, oh, come on, these guys have seen it all. The system is the system. And in a small amount of time, 60 minutes is a small amount of time, fast shifts, sometimes it's hard to find that patch of ice, genuinely. So it takes little moments like this, games like this, in new systems to go, all right, we didn't make the adjustment during the game. Where did we fall short? This is going to help this team in the long run, and I truly believe that. Also, yes, was the game hard to watch at times? Sure. Last game of a 4-game road trip, we went 3-1 on the road trip. Yeah, it's the Leafs, so it feels a little worse, but 10-2, baby. The 80-win season is still alive. 80-2, baby. Let's go. Right? I'm still happy with this team. Not super happy with the front office, as I've already portrayed, but still happy with this team. This game doesn't take the wind out of the sails for me. It really doesn't. The only player I want to shout out a little bit is Carlo. I thought he played a tremendous game, jumped into the offense a bunch, jumped into the offense a little too much at times where, I mean, there was one moment where I believe Zacha actually deferred to Carlo getting the puck in the offensive zone, and I was like, what the fuck? What, dude? Zacha picked that up. I love Carlo, man, but that ain't his job. That ain't his job. That's your job. Go get that puck. Anyway, but Carlo did play a fantastic game, and I really felt so. For the Mitchell Miller news, Gary Bettman has said that Mitchell is not eligible to play in the NHL or the AHL. He can play elsewhere and be on a contract with us. That's our money we can waste. Like, that's good for us. He says he may never be eligible, which I find that hard to believe because it is still the NHL. So, that's fine by me. I think it's an appropriate take based on how the league reacted, which it was weird that this contract was allowed to be signed and go through that whole, like, they have to send it into, like, the NHL department of all that stuff, and, like, no one raised a red flag on it at all, and then, obviously, you saw what happened, and then Gary comes out, and he's like, yeah, I would never have allowed this. We were not talked to beforehand. And I was kind of like, well, given your history on this kind of stuff, maybe they just thought they could. I'm still disappointed in some of it. I'm sure you are, too. But this is based on how the team reacted, the players, who all basically mirrored the whole, well, I don't know if this is a great idea. Like, they were trying to be nice about it, but it was clear that most of them were uncomfortable with the idea. Based on a large portion of the fan base's reactions, I feel pretty decent with my last video. I do. I didn't answer a lot of comments because I simply don't want to on a lot of them. For those of you who agreed, of course, cool, we agree on that. For those of you who disagreed but had insightful, thoughtful comments about it and explained why you disagreed and explained that you think that he deserves a second chance because of these things. And yes, it was a horrible thing that he did, not downplaying what he did. And we can disagree on that, and we can be fine. Like, I got no loss of respect for you. You may be disappointed in my take. Maybe I'm a little disappointed in your take, but we're adults. We get past that. That's fine. We disagree on that. For those of you who came in and were rude about it immediately, or were rude to other people in the comments, I'm the one who's putting my face up here. Like, you want to come at me? Sure. Absolutely. I'm putting myself out there for that. Other people just commenting their opinions on it, if you're being rude to them, like, fuck off. That's not the community we're trying to build here. Insightful conversations is what we're trying to do. For those of you who jumped in and were rude immediately about it, or just started calling people names or whatever it is, grow up. Grow up. There were a couple crazy takes I saw. If you disagree with me, again, we're fine. But if you come in and you're downplaying his actions, or just going after other people for no reason, I got no respect for you. For the most part, a lot of you had insightful thoughts, and I appreciate that. To those of you who were just rude and aggressive, I don't appreciate it, and I don't think anyone does. And I think it says a lot about your ability to actually discuss things like this. And it says a lot about you as a person, honestly. So if I lose subs out of that, have a good day. I don't really care. But let's be pumped about this team. The men on the ice had nothing to do with the signing, so I can still very much enjoy this team, especially because the NHL and the front office seem serious now about doing this the right way with Mitchell and having him work back into it very slowly. All that aside, we can still be excited about the guys on the ice, about the ones that had no part in this this decision and are clearly not happy with the decision. I do not think that decision had anything to do with the Leafs game. I really don't. I think it was the end of a road trip, and they just couldn't quite get it done. That's fine by me. This team's still red hot, and I'm looking forward to the next game, seeing what we can do. Go Bees!